Well, it's hardly the normal language of diplomacy. Mike Pence, the US Vice President, addressing the UN Security Council, calling on them to revoke the credentials of Venezuela's President, Nicolas Maduro. And this is what Mr. Pence had to say to Venezuela's ambassador.
With all due respect, Mr. Ambassador, you shouldn't be here. You should return to Venezuela and tell Nicolas Maduro that his time is up. It's time for him to go.
You should return to Venezuela and tell Nicolas Maduro that his time is up, is effectively what Mike Pence was saying. Now, of course, America has been supporting Juan Guaido, the opposition leader and self-declared president of Venezuela. But Russia, China, other countries recognizing the incumbent, Nicolas Maduro. This is where we are at now. A complicated standoff. Mike Pence here trying to, if you like, cajole the UN into backing the United States' stance on this. Well, Venezuela responded, the UN ambassador, Venezuela's ambassador, saying here that America was acting in an arrogant way. Look at this tweet from their Foreign Affairs office. Hashtag hands off Venezuela. The ambassador saying if America can interfere in Venezuela, then they can do so in any country in the UN. So this standoff continues. But this was a session at the UN where Venezuela and the situation there was being discussed, and other European voices being heard too, other voices there from Europe being heard too. For example, the UK, while taking a slightly more nuanced, softer language approach, saying that the issue cannot be ignored. The humanitarian crisis cannot be ignored by the government in Venezuela, that they should let in international humanitarian aid, which of course the government there and Nicolas Maduro has refused, saying it's part of a plot to overthrow the government. Then you've got Poland taking perhaps a stronger stance, you can say here, saying the UN Security Council cannot remain idle in the face of such a crisis, which has such an adverse effect on peace and security in the region. So it's unlikely America or indeed Russia will get enough UN support to change the international community's stance on Venezuela. But this tension at the highest levels continues to boil over.